It is a pleasure to be with these law enforcement officers, officers who are elected by their constituents, who know their areas, their jurisdictions, who deal with people every day, who understand crime, who understand immigration, whose officers confront those issues on a daily basis, and their voice has not been heard. We've had 20-some-odd meetings in the White House this summer, it's reported, with stakeholders, primarily business and special interest groups. Not once has the Sheriff's Association been invited. Not once have federal law officers been invited to lay out in detail the problems that are being created by the enforcement policy of this president. 3 weeks ago, the president issued an executive order nullifying, really, in effect, nullifying the federal immigration laws of the United States. President Obama's executive amnesty will give amnesty to 5 million illegal immigrants, provide them work permits, photo identification documents, Social Security numbers, access to Social Security and Medicare, taking jobs and benefits directly from struggling American lawful immigrants and native-born. With his order, President Obama violated the laws Congress has passed. In order to execute and carry out laws Congress has refused to pass. We have cities and towns across this country that are struggling with crime and poverty, unemployment, and low wages. Our people are hurting. But with this executive order, the president has abandoned those communities, has made it harder for the unemployed, has made it harder for people with low wages to get an increase in wages. There is no doubt about that.
The president talks a lot about fairness. Let me tell you what is not fair. It is not fair for out-of-work Tennesseans to have to compete for jobs with those that have chosen to illegally come into this country.
I stand firm here to say as well, we must stop and roll back this illegal executive order. It's exactly the wrong policy because it is rewarding illegal crossings, and when you reward something, you're going to get more of it, not less of it. It's exactly the wrong policy that is going to make this problem much worse, number one. And number two, it's flat out unconstitutional. It is the president clearly going beyond his authority because he is not acting just to fill in the blanks of law, to execute law. He's acting directly contrary to statutory law, and that is clearly beyond his authority.
I represent the Sheriff's Association of Texas here, and what we're facing in Texas and in this nation is a large welcome sign and a saloon door mentality on our border.
You ask, why am I here? Because what we see in Frederick County, Maryland, are the same problems that the border county sheriffs see. We see human trafficking. We see an insurgence of heroin. We see transnational criminal gang members coming into our communities, committing crimes, harming our citizens, and breaking the law by every means possible. What's going to happen by this amnesty, we have a program in place. ICE has a program in place that allows locals to help enforce the laws. What this is going to do, by all intents and purposes, is to empty our jails in all of our communities and put these criminals back on the streets of America, and they're going to harm our families, our children, our grandchildren.
Congress has an opportunity today. There's some discussions right now in the House. Defund this amnesty, defund this executive action by the president, and redirect those funds. If you want to put them in a good working place, redirect those to border security to make sure we secure our borders first in America. That should be our first concern, north, south, east, and west, and all ports of entry. Our leadership needs to listen, as you've heard, listen to the American people and make us, the U.S. citizens, the first priority in this country. Secure our borders and protect the American citizens.
For you and I as American citizens, when it comes to law enforcement, the law applies to you and I, yet when it comes to immigration, there is no law because there are no consequences. And it's something that we in law enforcement have to deal with, have to fight, and we want this Congress to stand up with Senator Sessions and Senator Vitter and other leaders in the House and Senate and as a lawmaking body and stand up and stop the president from this executive amnesty that he's taken. We want the focus to be, instead of putting illegals first and their rights, what about putting Americans and our rights and our security once first? Put our security first. And that should be driving this debate that nobody should disagree with.
We do not support this amnesty. We cannot support this amnesty. The sheriffs in this country stand united and unified against this type of illegal situation that's going on. We would ask for everyone to unite behind us as we give everything we can to try and get this country back the way it should be.
So I have a message today for every leader in Congress, to every official in the White House, and to the President Obama. We are going to fight this illegal amnesty, and we're not going to stop. We're going to carry out the mission the voters sent us here to do. We're not going to give in. We're not going to yield. We're going to stand strong for the people of the United States of America.